This is my Castlevania Curse of Darkness 80% speedrun tutorial. I hope you enjoy it. So I'm going to start a new game, and I'm going to explain this. I'm going to be going through the PS2 route as opposed to the Xbox route. It's very similar, there's just a few minor differences. It's fine. I'm not going to save here, I'm going to start without saving, and I'm going to skip the 2 opening cutscenes. A few differences for the Xbox version is the Xbox version has skeletons with 1 EXP apiece, which is different from the North American PS2 version where they're at 0, and significantly faster loads than the PS2 version, which is why I'm choosing to do it this way. This is the first enemy of the game. I'm going to block that attack with guard, and then I'm going to do this throw with the sword, do it again, do this. Well, I got hit out of it, so I need to do the one-hit combo. I was going to do the one-hit combo and then the sword slash, but I got hit from it, so I only did 1 slash, and I can just move the combo into any order I want. So that's fine. I picked up the memorial ticket there. It's going to be important in just a bit. And in the next room, we're going to pick up a skill and fight some more enemies. So all the enemies I'm just going to fight with one-hit combos, and I'm going to get the skill Quick Step. And I'm also wanting the skeletons to drop a material. We'll see if we get it. If not, it will be fine, but okay, there's 2. And I'm going to do a quick step into the load zone just to move slightly faster to it. So I got 2 bronze. That's going to be important later. It's not important yet, but we'll explain that in a bit. There's also going to be plenty of these long hallways that I probably won't be talking too much through. And that is just because there is a whole lot of nothing going on. I mean, I could fight those skeletons if I thought I needed to, but I don't think I'm going to need to. So that's all I can really say about this. In this room, I will tell you you're going to have to turn to the left, and we don't need the map, which is what was right in front of us. We don't need it, so we're just going to skip picking it up. Also, you might see me just moving the camera around a lot. That's not really required, it just makes it easier to move in a straight line. Find where I want to go. Okay, another enemy. The only enemy in here we need to fight is the Cyclops, so we're just going to do a bunch of one-hit combos on it. Also, you will not get a level up on the North American PS2 if you just hit a skeleton. That's because I'm on that spot. So then there's no point to open the chest. It will say it's sealed by an unknown power, because we need what's in this room, which there's a cutscene. So we'll skip the cutscene, and then when we name IDs, we just hit the start button to go immediately to a sub, and then we hit the button for the door instead of the button for next on those, because both of those things advance it, and it's just better to go for the same button to open the door. So then we'll open the treasure chest, we'll get the dragon crest, which is the main reason we came this way, and we're going to use that memorial ticket from earlier, which will take us right out to the beginning area of the main castle. So you might think, why didn't you register the save room? Wouldn't that be faster? The answer is no. It is 4 seconds slower. Slower just because you add 2 more load zones and sitting in a chair. Those things are quite slow. So, no real advantage. Then we're just kind of going to go through here. Here, we don't want to get hit by the enemies. And we're going to get this potion up here, no point in not grabbing it, and open this door with the dragon crest. And there's more skeletons, which we're going to fight the exact same way as we did before. So there's 3 pieces of bronze. I'm still counting it. This is another footstep into the load zone. It's not required, it's just a little bit faster. I skipped picking up the bestiary in that room with the executioner and skeletons because I don't need it. And there's no advantage to having it, so might as well just not pick it up. Another footstep right here. Just save just these very little amounts of time, but might as well go for it because it hardly wastes time either. And there's going to be another one like here. So then there should be one more, like right here. Didn't get the best bonus from that, but still just got a little bit, so it's fine. So then in here, we're going to go up until we see that ghost in front of us, and then we're going to move back, because there's one behind us, and for each ghost, we're going to just swing our sword 3 times. And we're going to do another footstep right here, just save that minor amount of time. Then there's another hallway where there's absolutely nothing. In that room that was to my right, there's $100, except you get trapped and have to fight your way out of it, so we don't want to go in there. Then here, a bunch of stuff's going to happen. The first thing I'm going to do is pick up the skill Weapon Combine. I'll get to that later. And then I'm going to hit the spiller in a very specific way. 1, 2, 3, and combo there. And when I do that combo, I let go of the analog stick. Because if you don't, there's a good chance that you'll miss one of the hits for some reason or another. I'm also going to open this treasure chest and get evolution crystals. However, I really don't want the evolution crystals to be on at the moment, so I'm just going to turn them off. Then going through here, there's a lot of nothing going on, which allows me to explain Weapon Combine. So, we pick up Weapon Combine because if we don't, we get stuck fighting with the weapon we have, or the weapon we can buy. Neither of those things are the greatest, so it's better to be able to make better weaponry throughout the game, and it will save quite a bit of time. So here's more skeletons, and that's why I've been picking up bronze, which I now have 4 pieces of, which is enough for the rest of the game. I don't need any more bronze. Now, ideally, I'm going to throw this and get some wild memory from one of these zombies. And I'm getting kind of bad luck here. Well, that's bad luck, but I'll have another chance. I'll have more chances coming up, so it's not that bad. Another hallway here. It's okay. And what I'm going to do is go wild memory. There's 3 of these. I don't want them to do what the one to my right just did. And there's wild memory. So what I'm going to do now is go to combine, make a short sword, and make a Gano. Then I'm going to equip the Gano and just leave the start menu. Because I don't have anything else I can make at the moment that's going to be that useful. So now I'm using that one-hit combo I was using on the skeletons on the zombies. That's the second piece of wild memory that I need, so I should be able to beat the game without getting any more. I did a quick step there, which was good. It wouldn't have mattered if the barrier was still up. So now the first thing I'm going to do in this room is grab double step, and that's so I can start just doing this constant quick stepping. And I'm going to fight these wizards first by just hitting them 4 times. So that's the last thing in the room. I'm going to try not to get hit by it using quick step, and now I'm going to go over here to the stairs, and I'm just going to keep doing these quick steps because they're a lot faster than just running. If you can get the timing down anyway. But the timing isn't that hard. It's really just when Hector's feet go back to the ground. Also, you notice when I'm getting close to the door, I'll just run a few steps, and that's just because it's be a waste to do in quick step because of the distance they give. So there I did something for the white dragon, but I'll explain it after I fight the skeleton blazes, because, which you can see I'm kind of just doing the throw combo a lot, even though that is not the best way to fight these. So when I go to fight these, I jump and start hitting it, and then I'll jump a second time in the air after doing a few hits, because that will kind of reset my counter of how many hits I've done in the air, so I can just remain in the air and kill them without doing another jump up from the ground. So now just more quick stepping. This is one of the worst loads in the game, regardless of what you're playing on. Just is. I have no idea why. And we're going to get to the first boss fight. So this boss fight is going to be very basic, because all we're going to do to fight this boss is we're going to quick step to avoid hits, and we're going to fight with this one-hit combos. Because quick stepping gives us some invincibility, so we use those invincibility to our advantage, and then we get this cutscene, which we cannot skip, to move on to the second phase. The second phase of Crazy Armor has a few things he can do. So ideally we're going to just keep doing one-hit combos and get him down to roughly half health before he does anything. And so I actually got really good luck here. He kind of just walked away. That's very rare. Usually he'll either do flame jets or fireballs, and you can get destroyed by either of those. You just kind of have to react to what's happening. So now, I'm going to grab this heal field and then sit in the gondola. The heal field is just to get me to full health. I really don't need to walk through it, but it's just nice to have full health just in case something strange happens. So this is the second Innocent Devil we're getting, which we're going to be using for most of the game. And just like the fairy, when we go to name it, we're going to use our start to go immediately to accept. So we need to do a quick step to leave this ID room quickly, just one, and then we can kind of just move on. So we're going to go this way because we want to get something from this way. So then we go up here, we need to kill this orc. There's aluminum, which is good. I believe I only need one more piece of it now. So my material luck's been pretty good so far. And we're going to enter this room here, and we're going to go this way. And now, when we go to fight the Cyclops that's coming up right here, we're going to do chain attacks. So we're going to do one-hit combos, and we're going to keep hitting the button for chaining. And then we're going to open the door, come up here, get perfect guard, and then we're just going to leave. So now, I'm going to grab the serum just for safety. It costs like 2 seconds, but I'm going to just grab it. So I'm going to kill this lizardman, even though that's not absolutely required. It's just going to be better for my experience. I also want the jet black. So I have enough jet black now, and there's another cutscene here where we meet Julia, which we'll be coming back to that in a little bit. So now in here we're just going to go straight and turn right here, and we're going to get this skill called Steal. And we can also do double steps into certain low zones, but you need to hit them pretty straight on to have it work. That's one of the easier ones. So I'm also going to do chain attacks on the armor knights there, and I'm going to kill the wizard, but I didn't have to fight any of those 3 enemies. It just works better too. So I'm gonna kill this wizard before it does anything, because it can heal the armor knights, which I'm wanting to kill. So now I got some Evo crystals, and eventually I'm going to want to evolve the Innocent Devil I have now. To do that, I need 40 evolution crystals, and that is the main reason I am still using the Gano. I could actually equip a better weapon, but as opposed to doing that, I'm choosing to leave it unequipped to give myself the chance for Evo crystals. So here we want to kill, yeah, we wanted to kill that orc, but it didn't cooperate, it got in a place where we couldn't hit it, and we're going to fight most of the enemies in this room with gun receipt. Just because it's more damaging than we can do. These things can put their shields up and block these. It's kind of dumb, so we have one doing that right here. We're just going to keep firing at it, and eventually it will put its shield down. And we'll get off when there's none left. So now I'm using Aura Blast in addition to the fighting with the... So there was another orc that apparently got killed and I didn't know it because I usually kill it last. So that orc got killed earlier, but there's 2 orcs and 4 armor knights there. I'm also going to change my bad ID to guard now, just because I don't want it to do anything that might put it in danger. So these orcs are just kind of a pain. We have to kill the 2 for the first sphere and the 4 for the second. That's all we need to do. Then in here it's just the next room, which puts us in this hall here, which we want to go through. Can't do much, just running past the enemies. So now we come in here, and that treasure chest is the evolution chart, but we don't need that, so we're also going to skip it. Then we're going to come in here, and hopefully this wizard stays in a pretty good place so we can chain attack it, and that will kill it. Then we're going to go this way because we don't have to fight if we go this way. We could go the other way. It will take us to the same place, except it has another required fight that we just don't want to go through. Then we're going to meet a new enemy in this room, and I'm going to move this back to command for just a moment because I want it to come this way, and I'm going to just do like throws on the Ifrits because I just want to do enough damage that they don't decide to blow themselves up, because it's better to actually kill them than have them to blow up. And in this room we're going to do the exact same thing on this Ifrit. Also, I'm sorry if I pronounce any of the enemy names wrong, or weapon names, or anything. It's just I'm going to try and tell you what's going on. So now I need to do another combine. So how I'm going to do in this combine, when the menu opens, please open, is I'm going to make a short sword, I'm going to make a foil, and I'm going to make a broadsword. And now I'm going to equip the broadsword and go into the boss room. So this boss is a Wyvern, and we have a pretty special way to fight it. So I'm just going to go up towards it, and this was not the best luck. That's okay. I can just hit it a few times, and we want it to do this attack where it puts its head into the ground. And we're going to jump up here on top of it, and then we're going to start throwing our sword at it. And I'm going to jump off now, because I don't want its health to go below 50%. it will be very bad if it does. I'm going to jump over its attack, and very good luck because I got it to bury its head instantly. So I'm just going to jump right back on top of it, and now I'm going to kill it while it's flying like this. Just by throwing my sword at it. So now it's dead, so I'm just going to jump off. And this is the door I want to leave through. So I'm going to get a level up. Also, when you're swinging your sword, if you're not pointing the direction, you do that animation. You kind of want to avoid that animation. There's going to be a heal field like right here. I don't really need it, but I'm going to get it anyway. And if you want to know how I knew that was the right door, it's because I left my battle ID in guard mode. So it's standing like right in front of the door I entered through. Because there's no reason to use it during that fight at all. So then, more random hallways that don't really do anything. Another Ifrit here, and I want to go into this door. So now I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's just because I like to do that double step into the cutscene. It's not required, but I just like to do it. I also put my battle ID back into command mode because I'm going to want to do more chain attacks on that Cyclops. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm just going to chain attack this Cyclops, and I'm putting it back in guard. So I got kind of bad luck. I didn't get what I wanted from the Bone Soldiers, but that's fine. So what I want to do here is use the mace through this area. However, if I can't use the mace, it's such a short area that I'm better off just using broadsword because I don't lose that much through it. The red evil crystals mean nothing to me, but it's also not worth me to go into the menu to turn them off. I'm also going to put my battle ID back in command for a moment because I don't want it to warp right in front of me in this hallway. So now I'm going to put it back in guard. So the next thing, we got the steal skill earlier, but we didn't really use it because we want to steal from this. I got hit, that's okay. We just need to make sure we get the Holy Man's Vein. I also want to kill these. That's going after my battle ID, which I don't want to come after me instead. So I also want to get 2 pieces of Holy Man's Vein. And I was hoping that one of those 2 would drop Knight's Vein. So this is kind of bad for my materials, but that's okay. So now, the next thing that's going to happen is more hallways. A good variety of hallways that all kind of twist and turn. So we just kind of want to keep footstepping through all of them. Also, when we're doing these footsteps, the ideal direction is directly forward. So if Hedra's doing footsteps like this, it's the fastest footsteps. That's not double steps. We don't want to double step, because if we double step, we lose time. So forward footsteps like this are the fastest ones, and if you're going backwards, it's slower. If you're going sideways, it's slower. Kind of unfortunate, but sometimes you'll end up going this direction. It's because I have broadsword equipped still. I'm going to chain attack the lizards. And hopefully so the door you go in here does not matter at all. Just choose one and go. Ideally, you'll just choose the one that's closer you can get to faster. So, more wizard chain attacking. So it missed. So the wizard was going to start to heal the lesser demon, but I didn't want that to happen. So now, because I did not get Knight's Vein, I am going to fight these enemies. I'm going to do a throw chain attack on this one, and then I'm going to... So I still haven't gotten Knight's Vein. Still no Knight's Vein. Unfortunate. So I'm trying to get Knight's Vein here, and it's really unfortunate that I haven't gotten any. So there's Knight's Vein. So I'm going to stop killing these. None of those were required, I just wanted to have Knight's Vein for later. So I'm just going to run past all these now. So that was a really weird camera angle. Angle in a weird direction. I don't know what happened there. So we're going to go into this boss room. Where this boss... We're skipping the cutscene, obviously, and we're going to just dodge most of the attacks, and then we're going to do this. We don't want to see holy water. It's like the worst attack, because we can't even really hit him during it. So this is good because he'll move towards us. We just have to make sure we don't get hit, and then we can do another variety of attacks. He's going to do holy water again. He can also use holy water after the whip. That's why I want to be faster after he strikes with the whip than anything else. But all other attacks, I just need to hit him after he does his attack combo. So with that one, I just want to go and hit him, because it's also the best time to hit him, because I can do the most damage after he does one of his attacks by doing multiple combos. But I don't want to wait for the whip just in case he's going to do holy water. Also, really, you ideally won't perfect guard in this fight. The only... See, if he does that, you want to perfect guard the holy water. So now I'm just going to skip this cutscene that happens after the fight and leave. So now I'm going to... In the menu, I'm going to go combine. I'm going to make soft leather armor and hard leather armor. And I'm also going to send back my battle ID before I enter this room. I'm now going to go back into the menu and summon the battle ID. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That should work. And now I'm going to use the magical ticket that I picked up outside the room and talk to Julia, where I'm going to go into sell. I'm going to sell the foil I made. I'm also going to sell the hard leather armor I made, and I'm going to sell one of the Holy Man's Vein I stole, to where I can buy 2 magical tickets, a memorial ticket, 3 Ganos, and a leather helm. Then I'm just going to leave the shop, and that's why I counted to 7. I was delaying getting brute force, and I'm going to use it when I get there and enter the Aqueduct. So if you don't know what I was... There's also a cutscene here. So if you don't know what I was counting when I was counting to 7, I was actually counting the blue things that were going around the circle. circle when I was getting brute force. So if you're playing on PS2, you will want to go straight in this room. If you're playing on Xbox, you will want to go right, but like I said, I'm playing as though I was playing on PS2, though I'm actually playing on Xbox. Because the other way saves 1 second on Xbox for some unknown odd reason. At least from when I timed it, but my timing probably is not the most accurate, and I'm really have something really unfortunate going on. I don't have a single piece of steel. Also, when I'm doing those little jumps, I'm just barely tapping the button to jump. I do not want to get cursed. Cursed in this room. So now I have steel, which means I'm now going to do another combine. So I'm just going to combine Gano and steel for the mace. I'm also going to combine the leather helmet and knight's bane, and I'm going to equip the helmet first so I can equip the mace just a little bit faster if I was actually on the PS2 version. The Xbox version doesn't struggle with pauses the way the PS2 version does. I can't explain that either. So now my strategy here is going to look a little different. I also need to put my Mage ID back in guard mode. It's going to be really important that I do that. So I'm going to I need the tower to shoot, and I jumped just slightly too early. But the point of what I'm trying to do should be pretty obvious. I'm not going to get this one. I didn't get up here fast enough. So I missed again. So now, because I've missed twice, it would have been faster just to shoot down this tower. That was a really bad attempt. So I could manually line this up, but so I am jumping too early. Why am I jumping too early? Yes, you can do this, and I am going to show it. Ideally, you want to get this first try, clearly. So there you go. That is how you damage boost across that gap, and because I'm just a little bit mad about that, but yeah, you want to have yourself lined up in the right place to do that, and you need to jump at the correct timing. If you jump too early, you'll fall down. If you jump too late, you'll smack against the wall. So I'm actually a bit low on health, which is kind of unfortunate, but I'm going to continue with my low health. It will be fine. I just have to make sure I don't screw up too badly. And if I do think I'm going to need to heal, I need to decide that, like, right now, because I need to do it in the next room. But I don't think I need to heal, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Well, okay, this is... I wanted to chain attack my... I'm also... doing a lot of Ore Blast, and so now I'm going to heal because my health is just a little bit low. This is a backup strat. Hopefully you won't need it. But I wanted to do a chain attack to move my Bad ID closer to where I'm fighting. I also moved a little bit far into quick step after I hit the... So I cannot leave my fairy out, though, any longer, considering I need to be fighting in the next room, so I want my Battle ID out. Just for passive strength, if nothing else. So I got Ancient Memory, which is good. I'm just a little bit concerned about my amount of steel. I would like to get a few more pieces for some armor, if that's a possibility, but really it's not. Not at the moment, so we're just going to continue without armor. Again, that was just a chain really to move my ID. I'm also kind of using Aura Blast here to try and beat these a little bit faster, but so now the next thing is my ID is also low on hearts now, and that's not good. So we're going to enter this save room, just to heal ourselves up. And then we're going to go immediately outside of it, and we're going to be on a bridge here. It's not important. We'll just jump off of it. So now, these things will jump around a lot, and that's not good, but we're just going to try and fight them. Don't want to take too much damage. Also, I got kind of lucky there. I didn't have to change the camera, so I know that I went through the right door because it's the door that's behind me. It's also the up direction on the fixed map. So, if you do get lost, that's how you can tell which way you need to go. And now, the Frost Dragons, I used the same concept as I did in the White Dragons in the Abandoned Castle. I do have to be careful about using my ID abilities though, because I don't want them to get too low on hearts, but I also want to do the fights kind of fast. So I have to balance all those things together. See, that time I had to jump again to do the... See, this one was kind of a bad fight. So then we just go in here. And we're just going to go straight through this room. And now, there's a boss door right in front of us, which you can see. Well, you know what? I don't really feel like fighting the boss, but I do want to go into the save room. Because when I go into the save room, I can register a memorial ticket. However, I'm still not saving. I'm now going to combine 2 Bulvas, and I'm going to equip one, and I'm going to move the other here. And then I'm just going to jump down here. Well, this is not where I want to go, so I'm going to just waste a bunch of time and swing that around. think I'm starting to see something. Okay, so if you want to know what's supposed to happen... Oh, shoot. We're supposed to just jump up to where the forest is. I unfortunately fell back down all the way from the top, so I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait for me to get back up there again. And this is still faster than fighting the boss. Or just as fast. So let's just get up a little bit higher, just to make sure we actually get up there this time. So, there we go. And now we've just skipped the skeleton diver boss fight. There's also a cutscene when we enter the forest, which we will also be skipping, with the intended way to skip it instead of the way we just skipped the boss fight. However, this is a problem, because we now no longer have a move called Glide. So we skipped an Innocent Devil. It's fine, we'll get it later. No big deal. So now, just going to go through the forest, and I turned right just so I could go through the shorter path. That is the reason I went right instead of forward, if you're wondering. So now, there's this red ogre. It's almost exactly like one of the Cyclops are, except it's a bit stronger. So I didn't get Indio Steel. That's unfortunate, but it's not a big deal. I only need 3 pieces of Indigo Steel. So I'm going to go left here, because left will put me closer to where the enemies I need to fight are, thus making the path a bit shorter. Also, that prior room is quite laggy, so your quick step timing will change. It will be a bit further apart than usual. So in here, where is it? There's this, which we want to kill, because if we don't kill it, that's a Rosario. That's a bit just lucky. So, now, after you kill all the required bone soldiers, this thief will spawn, and it's what you need to kill to advance. So then, we're just going to go kind of walk a bit further and put my bad ID back in the guard, just so it won't fight without me and take a bunch of damage, because it's really important that it doesn't, especially in this room where it can get killed really quickly. So we'll then just continue through the area. There's a warp room over there, as you can see by what appeared under Hector's feet. but we won't be coming back to this area, so it's not important. There's also a save room there, but I have full health and my ID's not in bad shape. So now in this room, my movement's going to look a bit weird, because I'm going to move this way to get those guys to spawn. I also am going to do something maybe really weird, and I'm going to put the broadsword, because I want to get the thing out of this wall. It's called SS Potion. It's medicine that recovers all of your HP, and I want to just hang on to that for a bit. So now, I also have another advantage of having the broadsword equipped. Hopefully we'll get this. I needed to target this enemy, or this one. This one will work. Come on. Come on, one of you. Preferably the one I have targeted, but either will do. Come on. And that's to get carbon steel. So this is just so we can make the Morgenstern, which we will immediately equip. And I didn't see that coming. That was unfortunate, but so, after you kill all the enemies, you can go into the next room, where we don't need to kill any enemies. Unfortunately, they can get in our way, because we just want to go to the store. And now, we don't need to kill all the enemies in this room, but we do need to kill these sniper orcs. And then we'll go into the next room. This room has more sniper orcs we need to kill, so we'll start by doing them. It also has assassin zombies, which hopefully just come over to where I'm at and don't waste my time. That's Indigo Steel, and I really want to get it. I'm going to go in this save room to heal, because I don't like where my HP is. If it was better, I could just continue on without healing there. But I'm also remembering I don't have armor, so that also affects my decision. And now, what I'm going to do is probably one of the more dumb strats in this game. For this boss fight. So the main attack method I'm going to use is going to be one-hit combos again. Except when it doesn't have a pillar in its hands, I'm going to do some throwing here. So when it chooses to swing its pillar, it can swing it once or twice, and what I'm going to want to try and do is perfect guard the first swing at least. And if I do fail that, I will still guard it, and I want to do a quick step through the second. But if I perfect guard, I can try and perfect guard the second too. I don't want this attack to happen. It's unfortunate that it does, it just wastes my time. So, there I beat the boss. Not too bad. I got hit once or twice, and I will just take the heal field and go to the next area, Cordova town. So, I want to go left here because this is just going to be to get me through the area as fast as possible. Then I'm going to go right to go to this load. Go straight through this hall. And then I could go left to get to the load faster. However, I'll have to do movement to the right, even more movement in this direction if I do that. So if I go this way, I can go to this one, and this will also save me from having to do one extra load. Also, watch out for Duke Mirages in this area, because they're no fun. They're a very rare spawn, you probably won't see them, so there's one piece of white steel. I think, yeah. I really only need one, so 2 is really good. If I get one more, that will be the best possible. Serum, that's good for later. If I get poisoned, I'm going to put him back in guard. I'm a bit sad that he hasn't evolved yet, but it's fine. It doesn't waste all that much time that he hasn't. It's just a little bit unfortunate, so I'm going to chain attack here and Aura Blast just to kind of make this a bit... Okay, so now I'm really good on my white steel, and it will be ideal if I can get one more piece of indigo at the moment. So here, lots more just kind of going through the area, not much going on, but this room has, never mind, I lied, it's the next room. This is another room where you just run through. A fun fact about this room, though, is the door you enter from closes behind you, so if you want to go through Cordova town backwards, you'll have to fight in that room. This room is a bit more interesting because there's these assassin zombies, and we don't want to give them a chance to do much of anything, which is exactly what happened. They didn't do much of anything, so we're really good on Indigo Steel, I believe. At least if I counted correctly. Okay, that was really unfortunate, though. I want the hearts at the moment. It's going to be beneficial to grab them. So, now I need to move my ID closer, but I don't want to actually have it fighting at the moment. So I'm kind of in an unfortunate place at the moment because my bad ID still hasn't evolved, and I'm just going to do some stuff in the menu now to see what's going on. So the first thing I want to do is make this helmet. The next thing I want to do is see if I can make this armor, and this armor. So now I want to equip the best helms armors, and I also forgot to do the other thing I was going to do in the menu, which was see how many evolution crystals I have. So I need one more evolution crystal to evolve Manus and Double. And I really want to have that happen in this area, like right now. So that is the best thing that could happen. Unfortunately, I'm getting really unlucky. Yeah, that's kind of unlucky there. I only need one more evolution crystal to go the way I want. Okay, so now my instant devil is going to evolve into a speed male, which is exactly what I want. I wanted it just a little bit sooner, but that's okay. Also, now there's no reason for me to leave Evo crystals on, because there's no way I'm getting enough to justify by leaving them on, so I might as well just turn them off. So my material's in kind of a good place. I could do some damage boost through this hall, and do this hall a little bit faster, but it's not worth it, and my health's a bit too low for me to go for that. The good news is there's a save room right here, which I want to go into regardless because of this boss fight. This boss fight is a pain. And the first thing I want to do in it is skip the cutscene, and I'll just stand here and steal some Devil's Vein. I actually don't need the Devil's Vein, it's just going to help me for something else. Which is some of the reasons I made the armors that I don't really need. I have to make sure I don't get hit by that explosion, because that explosion can kill me instantly. So we want to keep throwing our hatchet here, our Morgenstern at Isaac, but we also need to be mindful of Abel, who can go after us or our innocent devil. We want it to go after our innocent devil, but that's not always the case. We just have to be kind of careful. You're going to do something I don't want. I'm also doing some. So if Abel's around, I usually try and just not do combos and just do basic hits with the Morgenstern, but I also am being careful because, like I said, I cannot get hit by that explosion. That's just not allowed. I also am trying to not get hit a lot anyway, but I can get hit some. It's not a problem if I do, except I cannot get hit by the explosion. And I keep saying that, just to emphasize, don't get hit by the explosion. Ideally you won't get hit at all, but oh, yeah, just so you know, don't get hit. There are tells about what Isaac does to see, because Isaac controls Abel and it won't do the explosion until he says certain things, which I don't remember any kind of points. So there's a field field right here, and new innocent devil. So this is our mage. And we're going to name the mage the exact same way. We're going to hit start, just to give it the default name. And we're going to start again here. And we're going to go into the summon menu and turn off its Evo crystals, because we don't need to evolve this one. Now, what we're going to do here is we're just going to go past all the enemies again. And when we do this, nothing happens. So now, in this area, there's these torches here, and they're going to go out. So we have to use time stop to get to where we can open this door. But time stop's a bit more useful than that. I'm also going to just change my mage to guard mode now. Sniper wards have to be hit 3 times with the Morgenstern if you're curious. Just about the best way to fight them. Then that's probably it. And our mage is going to kind of just get a bunch of fast leveling early on in this area, which is good for it and us, because we will be wanting to use its ability quite a bit actually, and we're also going to want to get it to where it can help us fight. So when it levels, it gives us a more plus strength bonus. So that's helpful throughout this area, and that's pretty much it. So now there's this puzzle in this room. It's very easy. You hit this, you can put stuff after you hit switches like that. I did it in the Aqueduct too. I just didn't really say much about it. And that's just so we can climb the stairs and go up here. And more enemies. These white gravules. I just kind of do the throw combo at them, and it works. I don't know the best way to actually fight them. So I'm just going to steal some Damascus steel. It's not that important, it's just a bit helpful. Just in case something happens. If it hits you, if the Iron Gladiators hit you with that attack, you will get paralyzed, and you don't want to be paralyzed. I'm also going to check the map here just to make sure I'm going the right way. I believe I am, but I'm not 100% sure, so I am. So now I'm going to go into combine. I'm going to make the Dung and the Lawn Spear. And that's all I need to combine at the moment, and I'm just going to put the Lawn Spear. Now, if you are familiar with the weapon combos in the game, you might know where this is going, because I'm going to use time stop right here, and I'm just going to do this, because that just is the best way to deal with flying enemies. And now I'm in kind of a place where the spear, not great. Come on menu, come up. And I'm going to switch back to the Morgenstern. So Now, there's this save room here, and the reason I'm going in this one is mainly for the mage's hearts. That's the main reason why I go in that save room. I'm also going to just fight these undead lords and hope for red steel, which I'm not getting. So there's 2 pieces of it, which is good. I really wanted to have one, and as long as I got one, I was fine. So I'm going to switch back to the spear I have, and just do this tornado again. In on the enemies. I did want to collect the hearts there. I now want to go and make this weapon, and I also want to combine a new helmet. And whenever I do this, I want to equip the helmet first, and the next thing I'm going to do is summon out my battle ID. Doesn't seem like be that useful, right? Because there's nothing I absolutely have to fight that's not flying coming up anytime soon. However, there is this elevator, which this cutscene kind of explains how it works. There's the pillars that brought it down, and so we're going to fight the pillars. And one of the best ways to do that is with the chain attacks of the battle ID. Also, I'm doing the chain attack with the regular attack button instead of the final attack button. Because if I do it with the final attack button, it just does the kick. And I prefer to do the sword. And now I'm going to re-equip my spear and summon back out my mage. I also did not have to bring the elevator up that far. I just didn't see where I could get off it sooner. But you don't even have to be where you can see the door to get off of it. You just have to be able to open the door. And now I'm going to time stop here to fight this harpy and move on. Then I'm going to get under this harpy to time stop. So I can do both of them. And then I'm going to equip my Zomnal again for the next enemies I have to fight. They're actually not in this room. I don't have to fight enemies in this room, thankfully. But in this room, I have these Lizard Shaman I do need to fight. And there's also a harpy somewhere. And flying enemies are like the worst. I also sometimes target enemies and sometimes don't. It just depends on the enemy and where I'm at. I honestly have no idea when I'm doing it and when I'm not. I just do it. So I'm sorry if I haven't been explaining that. It's just I have certain habits that just kind of work. So in this elevator, it would be annoying to deal with all the Death Rippers, so we kind of just ignore them. And if we're lucky, we'll get hearts out of them. So, yeah. See, I added that elevator way sooner, so that's good. Now, there's more harpies in this room. I don't like those, so we'll go with fighting them like that. And there's some red steel, which is really good because the next thing I'm going to want to do is combine stuff. So I guess I'll make my armor first, then I will make the ats I want. I will equip the ats I want and the new armor, and then I will go back and summon my battle ID. So now, I have to be careful here because I don't want to get to so there's just all those enemies. The Iron Gladiators. And then, you know, I don't really care about Mage ID at the moment, so I'm just going to leave it in command. So then we want to come up here and hit this gear and cause this sequence of events. And just break a wall down. Then we just jump down and go into the new area that opened up for us. And again, don't really care about maintenance and double at the moment. Don't have much problem at the moment, and I'm going to have to open the worst save door in the game, which happens to be this one. Because you need to approach it like straight on to open it. That's an opinion. Don't take it for fact. So now I'm going to put my mage back in guard, because I'm going to need my mage for this boss fight. Which has a cutscene at the very beginning, which we can skip. So now we're just going to do this jump attack. On St. Germain here, which we're being careful of, because we also want to avoid his attack so we don't get poisoned. He had also perfect guard, and it is faster to perfect guard, but it's a bit harder too. There are some good audio visual cues for it, but so I'm actually moving while he's doing this, and I'm going to use time stop, and I'm just going to steal from him here because I can. So now I'm poisoned. So I'm happy that I grabbed the serum earlier, because it's going to be much faster to just use the serum and unpoison myself right then and there than wait for him to do what he's going to do. Because if you get poisoned, he will use time advance to speed up the poison ticks and essentially put you into a stun that you can't escape without using time stop. So now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to just wait for a moment and use time stop so he won't recover as much of his health. And now I'm going to do what I was trying to do earlier, hopefully, and jump over him when he does the time stop, so I don't actually have to use time stop. After he does time reverse, he can shoot you if he wants. I'm also going to switch my ID back to my battle ID right now, just so it gets the experience instead of the mage, because I use it more often. And then we will just go into the next area. Area here, well, actually we'll get our next ID called the double ID, which will let us access another area. But want to know something? The next area we're supposed to go to, well, currently I don't actually have a good way there, and also so I'm just going to go to Julia's shop here, and I'm going to do some stuff. So I'm going to sell some stuff, such as... Actually, no, I'm not. Just wait. I'm going to combine stuff first, just making sure Well, I'm going to combine one thing, this sword, and now I'm going to sell that sword. I'm going to sell my Morgenstern, because I don't need it. I'm going to sell these armors that I don't need anymore. I'm also going to sell this potion because it's... I'm going to sell... just some material, and now I'm going to buy 3 high potions. And I'm going to now go back into the menu. I'm going to move this. I said move. I could have put that, I don't want to yet. And I'm going to summon him. Then I'm going to use one of the memorial tickets I bought to go back to the save room that's just outside of the Skeleton Diver boss room, which I skipped. And I went to the forest instead. So I'm going to go this way now. And this looks like a nice wall. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 'I did a few extra there just for safety, but now we're out of bounds, under the bridge that leads to Dracula's castle. So we just skipped 2 areas of the game by doing this, as long as we can do this. And now we're in Dracula's castle. So we're just a bit under-leveled for this area, but it's fine. So we should just run past the enemies. And hopefully we won't do too many double steps, because also, we're not finished with our axes yet. But we'll get to that in just a moment. So, what we did for that IJ is we just jumped over an invisible wall, which I will explain after I explain this fight, right here. Because this fight is really quite... Let's not... Okay, so that fight I did need to pay attention for. It was kind of hard. So what we did is we used the axes to gain height, and we can just jump over the invisible wall and get out of bounds. I also need to be somewhat careful about my innocent devil, because I don't want it to die. I also didn't want to get turned to stone here. That was really bad. So now we'll just leave our ID in the garden mode for a bit, because we don't want it to take any more damage than it already has. Because we have to be careful and we have to be paying attention to it all the time. So here's another room that's going to be... What we usually do is we usually need the bird to glide. However, I think we've already demonstrated that that's not much of an issue for us. The problem is we need to get up there. And the only way we can reasonably do that with our current stuff is to do it with axes, which if we change our axes, this is equipped to something else and then change it back, we can the first axe equip changes it to cancel what we're currently doing, and the second one is so we can swing our axe again because we still have the same weapon equipped. Is why I only had to equip Bulova to Bulova when I was doing Diver Skip, instead of Bulova to Bar like I am now, because if you just change to the next one, it will have you fall back to the ground. So, but the good news is we're about finished with it. Just a few more times just to get up here, which I'm going to okay, so he grabbed the ledge, which is something that can happen, and if it does happen, you just want to jump up. Also, you want to be careful here because you don't want to do too much damage. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the spear. And I'm also going to summon Mage ID. So if you haven't figured out what we're going to do with this combination, you really should. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use Time Stop in combination with the spear in order to do this tornado combo that will allow us to do the most damage to flying enemies, and because they are all weak to wind for some reason. I don't know why, it's just the way the game is. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to equip a different weapon. And the best weapon to equip is the Zanwa at the moment. At least that's my opinion. Because we're going to be using Time Stop right here, and that's to kill this final guard. And the other one if we can find it. Find it in any reasonable amount of time. And we got one piece of adamantine. We need another piece of adamantine. I'm not going to worry about it just yet, though, so what I'm going to do for right now is I'm just going to summon out my Battle ID so I can do more damage and kill these armed sprinters just a little bit faster. But don't worry, that pause was barely worth it because I'm going to go into this save room, reminding you that I've not yet saved the game, and I'm going to go into Combine, go down to Spear, and make this spear, and then I'm going to go equip the spear I just made, and resum some of the mage that I just put away. And if you're wondering why that is worth it, the main reason why I can do stuff like that is because the in-game time doesn't run in the menu. So when I'm doing those 70 IJ pauses to get to Dracula's castle early, or it should be 10 to get to the forest early, or the 20 to skip the gap in the castle. Whenever I have the pause menu open, I don't actually lose time. I accidentally hit camera reset. It's fine though. It threw off my movement, but it was fine. Also, I pretty much do know the direction through the game, which is why I haven't had to open the map or do anything like that. Just because I have the entire route through the game memorized. At least while playing anyway. To just say, okay, so this was kind of bad. I guess my mage got switched to lightning strike, and that's going to be unfortunate because I'm going to need to time stop again because that happened. I should have been able to do that with one time stop, but 2 isn't that bad, but it is a pretty big time loss. Also, I kind of just went around those. You can technically go through them. It's a bit harder to do though. So now I'm going to change my weapon again and resummon Battle ID. And because my Innocent Devil evolved so late, it actually has a better magic stat. So that's why Aura Blast gets even more efficient the later we evolve it. However, we do want to use like chain attacks throughout Cordova town, and the chain attacks with the speed mail are just a bit better than the chain attacks with the Magmard. So now, before I leave this room, and I mean just before I leave this room, I'm going to pause the game again to summon the Devil ID, which I haven't used at all. And now, and that is just so I can go through this tiny little gap here. And now, say goodbye to the Devil ID. You probably won't see it for the rest of the game. That's all I needed it for. Which is the reason I had to go through the forest at all. The Cordova town I wouldn't have to do either. And I also could that was large meat. It's really nice to get, but it won't matter because make sure I'm on the right door. Because there is a save room right here, which is how I can get away with doing so many ID abilities. Because if that save room wasn't there, I would have had to keep my ID HP, hearts a lot higher. Also, I think I just hit a button that I wasn't supposed to hit. No, it's fine. So here I kind of got a bit trolled by lag, which threw off my timing for the quit steps. Same thing there. Really, what just happens is the lag changes the timing, and I've hit it too quickly anyway. Way for that room. So in this room, we need to kill the assassin zombies, who hopefully actually are close together, and we can just kill both of them together, which happened, so that was good. Now there's this long hallway with the assassin zombies in it. The assassin zombies make this hallway a lag more, so that's a thing. But the good news is, we can kind of just go through these shorter rooms really quickly, and that doesn't become much of a problem. So now, this next room is going to be fun, because I have to be careful about my HP and hearts, because I can also because I have to make sure I don't get grabbed, I don't get turned to stone, I don't let my HP fall too low, I don't let a bunch of things happen that can very easily, and I also have to make sure my instance devil's hearts don't get too low. But in this room it doesn't matter that much, because again, there's a nice save room right here, and even better is because I will be switching my instant devil right now to the mage. Some more just quit stepping through hallways. So this is fine. My mage doesn't really need any more experience, so it's okay if I give what it would have gotten to the battle ID, which is more useful anyway. However, I'm going to need the mage again, like right now. So that's just fine. So now there's going to be more enemies in this room that we won't care about at all. However, we do need to go around and just get to the door, to get to the hallway, to get to the door of the room, which we're going to use time stop in. And we're going to use time stop just to deal with the harpies, which is the reason why I even though the one didn't die, it's still okay. Also, I am kind of missing a thing I'm supposed to have at the moment, but I just didn't get the luck to make it. So it's absolutely fine that I don't have it. It doesn't save that much time throughout this area, because really it would be beneficial to use Warhammer through parts of this area, but because we don't have it, we'll just stick with the Zadno. However, I do have to be careful. So that was the adamantium piece I needed. I only really needed to kill the Iron Gladiator or Executioners in that room. I don't even know what they are at the moment. I think they're Iron Gladiators. Anyway, well, I also wanted to kill a final guard just to get another piece of adamantium. And I would have had to keep killing them until I would have gotten it, because it's going to save a good chunk of time. And also, really, I haven't learned some of the older strats with, like, how to fight things with Zodnil, whatever. So, I also grabbed the heal field. It's the only one in the game that just kind of placed kind of randomly. Well, it's one of the 2 heal fields in the game that I know of that are just in the world. I know 2, but you only see that one in any %, so the other one, weird, but it has a reason to exist. So I want to do this is another case of, really, I could have inserted parts, or I can just take the save room. In this case, I chose just that I'm going to take the save room. I'm also going to put this into guard now, and I'm going to enter the save room to heal myself and my IDs, and I'm then going to leave it and go to the next area, where there's the staircase, and I want to just jump up here, and then I want to get over by this wall for, like, a really strange reason, is so I can double jump here, 2 quick steps, and double jump there to get through the stairs. And I'm now going to equip a different weapon. I'm going to now equip the Dasonga and go into the boss room. So this boss is really difficult if you don't understand, and the strat to make it less difficult is the strat I'm doing, which is also faster. So I'm going to skip the cutscene to start with, as I do with every cutscene that's possible, but to skip, I will skip. And I want to get behind him. So now I'm behind him, and I want to do this multiple stab combo with the spear, and if he attacks, I'm just going to let him do so and get back behind him. And then I'm going to try and quick step around him to start attacking faster. Also, I was really far away. You don't want to be far away, because if you're far away, you can miss, and you can't miss to continue with this pattern. Which is why I keep adjusting the camera. Also, if I would have hit him from the front this time, you would have seen the backup strat. Good thing I don't have to do it yet. And we want to just keep this up throughout the entire fight. So now, here's what I was saying. I just made a mistake. So now, I have the Zonal, which is fine, except okay, so now I want to go back to the Dosanga, because if we do weapon swaps, we can hit him fast enough to go back into the stun from in front of him. However, that's not the best fight. Also, it's really hard to do that if we get him up into a wall. We can't do that easily. What we want to do is we want to keep him pretty much in the middle of the room. I was not trying to take damage there, so that was unfortunate. So, the ideal strat is to perfect guard this attack. However, I'm not confident in my ability to do that, so we're just going to play it safe. Give ourselves a very minor heal, and if you're standing in the right place, you can so this is unfortunate that my ID died, but we'll just go with it. So now, we'll just continue on our way. To finish the game, we'll enter the save room to heal ourselves and revive our ID, which wasn't supposed to die, but probably should be about dead. And we're also going to put this death doll that we got earlier, just for our safety. So, I didn't explain why I sold the Etos potion, however, this is the reason why. I haven't used any healing items throughout the game. At all. And my health is 342. High potion heals 200 HP. So an Etos potion would be healing my max HP minus 1. Or 341. And that is not as good as having multiple 200 heals, and I was not supposed to take damage there. There I was. So you want to be careful about this fight because you really don't want to get grabbed. You also don't want to be in the middle of this attack, which I unfortunately was. So this is unfortunate. However, I will just heal a bit with my potions. hopefully we don't get hit anymore despite, because we don't want to get hit to start with, but sometimes it just happens. So, this is not right for multiple reasons. But we'll just so that was a pretty bad fight for the first phase of Dracula, but we now have to fight the actually harder phase of Dracula. And our ID isn't going to be much use to us. So we want to avoid using hit, or we'll just get hit right off the bat and barely survive. So we're going to try very hard not to get hit anymore. And so we want to just be very careful. Also, we will die if we get grabbed. I do want to point that out. So I really hate this attack because I find it really hard to dodge. So, and our ID won't dodge it at all, so we're just going to put him back for a bit. And, well, that was a good little heal. So we'll now do this. Also, I am not purposely perfect guarding any attack in this fight. If it happens, it's completely by accident. Though it is a lot better to have it happen than to get hit. Which one are you doing? Oh, we're doing this one, which will just jump over it. And you're doing the worst one again. My opinion is that the green attack is the worst. Which is why I go into a fairy like that. And it's also one of the reasons why you will not see me do some other things. I have Death Doll, so I will be careful. Actually, I'm going to heal again with my last high potion. So I'm out of healing items now, except for my Death Doll. Please don't do the... I said please. So this is really unfortunate. What is your magic? 51 and your attack is like 60 something. What is your attack? I didn't check correctly. Attack is 65, magic 51. Oops. And that is the main reason why we don't really fight with the bad ID during this, because it's not extremely worth it. And they can get killed pretty quickly, just like we can. Also, I'm going to do a little thing called... I'm going to equip a different weapon and go back to the prior weapon I have, just to reset my quick step timing, and that means I can do it faster. It was just to dodge. Just to dodge the attack. Because it'd be really bad to get hit now. Good. So, see, getting grabbed still pretty much means death. So, I've beaten the game. However, I decided that I'd show you what the screens look like. So, essentially I beat the game in an hour, 44 minutes, 9 seconds, and I would show you what my time says on here, except it doesn't show it, because we skipped the Trevor 2 boss fight. Right? And as I was saying, our battle ID is used in the majority of the game. 72% of it, and we've killed 377 enemies. So, that's Curse of Darkness. We'll skip all these cutscenes, and when I say all, that will include the credits. We won't watch those because we want to save the game. So, because we want to save the game, because again we time it by in-game timing, so we want to show what the in-game time is, and it has to be on the save file. So, 1 hour, 44 minutes, 11 seconds. And that is how you do the speedrun of Castlevania Curse of Darkness. And I will, because I don't think I did it very, very clearly, I'm going to go back and show something, because so I struggled with this, and I want to make sure that everyone understands just because I did show that I can struggle with it, and I failed a few things, such as the I jaded the forest. I failed it at the very end of it. I also failed this is an Xbox, so I'm going to do the Xbox strat. It's here, because this is just slightly faster. So I want to show the way we do this damage boost, because it's something that really you want to do first try, and I'll also show the strat if you don't want to do the damage boost, I guess. So, to do the damage boost, really, all you're doing is like line up like right here, come over here, and you're waiting, and you're just jumping at the correct timing. If you think that's going to be too hard to start with, the other strat we can do is you can come over here to this, and do 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can just get off before it even falls down, and then you'll need to go back this way. However, there's all this lag, and you'll see a lot that it's making it a lot harder. That is also why you want to keep Wyvern off the screen when it dies, so you don't have to look at all the dust that gets kicked up. So, that is all I can tell you about Castlevania Curse of Darkness any percent at the moment. Also, I did the route that has been made and modified by myself. There can be many more improvements made to it, I'm sure, especially such as skipping Julia's shop. Skipping Julia's shop would be a lot harder, as you saw by my Dracula fight. I don't want to do that yet, because I just find it a bit too difficult yet, and I'm essentially out of items. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helps you, and I hope to see more people start running this game and more times appear on our leaderboard. Also, this run was pretty bad because the IJ to Dracula's Castle saves quite a bit of time, and I believe it should save more time than what I saved from it. So, if you want to run this route, good. If you want to run the old route, I'm fine with that too. I would not be making a tutorial for the old route though unless someone requests it. And if you really want to, I'll make you a tutorial for the very old segmented run, but I believe that this is the only tutorial I'm going to make. If there's anything I need to clarify, please ask, and I'll make a video explanation or something or I'll explain why things are. So thanks everyone for watching. And again, I hope you have enjoyed this little tutorial.